singing, man. They're not telling me the words, you know, I'm just going, you know, it's terrible, it's terrible. And I thought I had a good voice, but I know I don't. I know I don't now. I also investigated Judaism. Now, as Brother Samir mentioned, my name is Reuben, and you've probably seen at the end of movies, you've seen Reubenstein or Reubenberger or all these sort of things. They probably thought I was Jewish, right? Because they were really nice to me at the start. But again, after I kept on asking questions, I just didn't find what I was looking for. Then I looked into Buddhism. Now, I really liked Buddhism. I thought this was great. You get to relax. You get to be one with yourself. Now, I really enjoy being one with myself and relaxing. But again, what I sort of started to find was that this is not so much a religion of God, but just a good way to live. It's a nice way to live. So I went and spoke to my friend, this religious Christian friend of mine, and I said, look, I've investigated all the religions and I can't find what I'm looking for. And he said to me, well, what have you investigated? And I said, oh, well, look, I've investigated Christianity, I've investigated this ism, this, all the isms. And he said to me, you've actually missed out one. I said, no, I don't think so. I think I pretty much covered everything. He goes, well, what about Islam? And I went, Islam? Okay. Mate, they're terrorists. I'm not going to investigate Islam. They're crazy. No way, you know. But, lo and behold, alhamdulillah, I found myself walking into Preston Mosque one day. I was very nervous parking my car in the car park. I thought it might explode. I walked in through the doors. I looked around. There was hardly anyone around. I thought, good. I walked straight across the prayer rug with my shoes on. I walked straight past the brother praying. As he went into sujood, I almost stepped on his head. I had no idea, right? I walk across and I stopped. Abu Hamza came out of a door. That's the brother who just introduced us before, Samir. And I thought, this is it. I'm about to die. I've seen this guy before. I've seen him on the news. I can't believe I come here looking for answers and I'm going to die. This is not fair. But, alhamdulillah, the first words to come out of Abu Hamza's mouth were, how you going, mate? Now, he looked like he just walked out of the Sahara Desert, right? He had a beard down to here. He had he was wearing a dress, but I thought it was a dress, right? But I wasn't going to tell him it didn't look good. No way. All he needed was a can of VB and he could have been, how you going, mate? One of the boys. So, alhamdulillah, he was very welcoming and I was very thankful. I was quite frightened, even though I'm twice his height. We basically then sat down and I talked to the brothers. There was a couple of brothers that were always quite regularly there during the day when I could make it, in between my lectures when I went to them. And we used to sit down and we'd talk about the different sort of questions that I had and the things that I wanted to know about Islam. They were very hospitable. I kept on getting cups of tea, biscuits. Now, no other religious sect had done this for me, so I was quite impressed. And I didn't just come back for the biscuits, I also came back for the knowledge. Now, as an Aussie, I was not used to this level of hospitality, I should say. I'm not sure, I don't want to offend anyone again, but as an Australian, if you offer someone a cup of tea and they say no, you go, okay. These guys wouldn't take no for an answer. Would you like a cup of tea, bro? No, no, thanks, bro. Are you sure? No, I'm right. Are you sure, bro? I'll go get one. No, I'm right, bro. No, I'm getting one anyway. Sure, look, I'll just get you one, right? No worries, I'll get you one. All right, man, I'll take the tea, you know? Subhanallah. So I had to keep on taking toilet breaks, you know, there's cups of tea waiting when I come back. I put on about 10 kilos in my quest for religious enlightenment. But anyway, as I say, we get back to the questions I was asking the brothers. Now, what I'd found with a lot of the other churches and people that I'd spoken to, religious leaders, was that when I asked a question, they would quite often just say, your answer is this. I'd say, oh, okay, that's pretty good. When I was sitting down with the brothers from the mosque, when I would say, listen, I don't understand this, what about this? They would never just answer from their opinion. They would always pick up the Quran, they would open it up, and it would be like, they're like human indexes. They would just, bang, page 142, read this. And I would read it and I would go, wow, that's beautiful. And I would say, look, where's all this part about killing people and blowing up cars? And I don't see that. Is it somewhere towards the back that I haven't read it yet? I can't find it. I haven't quite gotten up to that bit yet. And they said, no, we'll talk to you about what we know, and then we'll tell you what the media says. Now, my obvious first impressions when I walked in were that these guys were terrorists. And I found nothing but the opposite. I found that they were the most hospitable, caring, nice people. I mean, these are guys that would say, do you need a lift home? Because they saw my car. Do you need a panel beater? Do you need a new motor? But they really cared, and I could see it in their eyes that it wasn't something like, if you go to a church, you need to donate, or, we're looking for money from you. These guys really cared, and it intrigued me. I thought, how can they care so much about something? It blew me away. So I kept on asking questions, and as the brother before me was speaking about alcohol and marijuana and all those sort of things, obviously I'd also taken all of those things. Alcohol, I loved to drink. Loved watching the footy with a can of VB, all that sort of stuff. But I asked the brothers, I said, look, I know that in Islam we can't drink alcohol. Well, you can't drink alcohol. And I remember speaking to them and they said, look, Islam is not just a religion for yourself, it's also a religion based on a whole social community. Just because some people might be able to say, I can just have a drink of wine with dinner and that's it, doesn't mean that everyone can do that. At the same time, some people only have a drink and next thing they've drunk 10, they're driving a car and they've run over some poor kid on the road. So the fact that Islam has this social conscience, it's saying there are some that are going to abuse it, some that aren't. Prevention is better than cure. Rather than try and look at something that we can cure later on, Allah knows we're going to abuse it, right? And let's face it, people with alcohol, they abuse it. And I was a security guard for quite a while. I saw a lot of people abusing alcohol. So alhamdulillah, I started realising that Islam is not just about each individual, it's also about a community. I also asked questions about the hijab and why couldn't I wear it. How come I can have 4 wives? How come she can't have 4 husbands, huh? But every time I'd ask these questions, I'm not going to answer them tonight because I'm not giving a lecture. You'll start laughing at me even more. They would still give me reasons, and as an Australian, I would still struggle a little bit with some of their reasons, but the more and more I thought about this whole social idea of Islam working as a community, I realised that all these things really fit well together. It's very difficult from an outside point of view to think, okay, the scarf, or okay, the beard, or okay, the kebab, okay, the abaya, whatever. But once you start actually looking inside the religion working as a whole unit, as in implementing every step of the way, it starts to make sense. And it started to make sense. But again, I didn't want to just make a leap of faith because I wasn't looking just to say, hey, that's my religion. These guys have got panel beaters, mechanics. These are the guys for me, right? I wanted to actually find something that for me really made sense. One night, I was sitting at home. Now, I apologise to some people who may have heard this story. It's called the candle story. I was sitting at home and I thought to myself, I want to be, one with myself again. I want to get closer to Allah. So I lit a candle. I opened the window. I had the blinds drawn. It was a nice night, a bit warm, Thought this is about as spiritual as it gets, a candle. The Quran. I'm sitting there reading. And I stopped and I thought to myself, look, this is the time. This is my night. Tonight, Allah and me, we're going to have a bit of a conversation. We're going to, we're going to bond. All I need from you, Allah, is just a sign. Just a little sign. Look, nothing too major, just maybe a bolt of lightning. Bolt of lightning for you, man. Come on, you created the earth. This is just a bolt of lightning. It'll be easy. So I sat there and I went, okay, go. And I swear to you, nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. I was really disappointed. I said, Allah, this is your chance.